There's never been a better time to find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Download the BetMGM app and place a $10 moneyline wager on any NBA playoff game. If either team hits a three-pointer in the game, you'll win $200 in free bets. Just use code CAPITAL200 when you make your first bet. Sign up now and discover BetMGM's daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code CAPITAL200 to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three in any NBA playoff game. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Washington, D.C. only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hi guys! welcome to the first episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. And I say the first episode for 2021. Woohoo! That's it, guys. 2021. So guys, today, first, before I get into who I am, today we're going to be talking about the universal law of choice, and we're going to be talking about belief. We're going to be talking about several things, clarity on what you're wanting. So I'm going to be taking this back to basics. I'm peeling this back and taking it back to basics. So I will be talking about the universal laws. So before I go any further, guys, my name's Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I will be your host for the next most probably 45 minutes or so. You are listening to an episode, woohoo, the first episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. And today, as I said, I'm going back to basics. I want to talk to you about the universal law of choice. Now, I'm going to make a promise to you, and I am going to make a promise to you. I know the last 2 years, I mean, it's really been sketchy. It's really been sketchy. And I've made a commitment to you, and above all, to myself, not to be so sketchy. And what I mean by that is I really haven't been posting content or sharing content with you about the laws of attraction. And so for me, I have, there are things that have come up in my life, things that I've been working on. And those things have, for the most part, been worked through. And so it has allowed me now to be available to do some of the things that I am passionate about doing. And the universal law of choice and the universal laws is something that I'm passionate about. So guys, welcome. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Woohoo! Welcome. Guys, we made it to 2021. And for those of you who have lost loved ones due to anything, including the COVID-19 virus, please know that you and your families are in my thoughts, you're in my prayers, you're in my meditations. 2020, let me just address this before we move forward. 2020 was a year that at the beginning of 2020, I had predicted that it would be a very, very difficult and challenging year. Based on the number 2, which really is attention to detail. And it's a double 2, okay? 2020, it's a double 2. It also was talking about creating the foundation, the square of life upon which we will build, which is what we're going to start doing now. This is what 2021 is all about, is building on the foundation that we have created. There was so much upheaval. There was so much contention. There was so much there was it was a really challenging year on many levels. Not only, I would say, individually, but from a worldwide perspective. Now, the one thing that I love, and I truly love and embrace about the universal laws and my particular belief system, my philosophy, is that everything that happens doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. And so what that does for me, at any rate, is after my initial huff puff emotions, tears, anger, the whole 9 yards, what it actually does for me, it allows me to look at any situation with detached involvement. And for those of you who have followed me for years, you know that detached involvement is definitely a methodology that I subscribe to, especially as a coach. I subscribe to, where I'm involved, but yet my emotions are detached, so that I can actually look at a situation and see it for what it is in regard to my perspective. So many things happened last year, and flowing into this year, many things have happened. But the greatest thing about 2021, it's the year of creativity. Yes, still attention to detail. Yes, still building upon that square. But now, instead of the magic of it just unfolding, if you will, now you have creative process for what it is that you want to do. So, woohoo, guys! 2021, let's do it. So once again, welcome to the show. You are listening to an episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. My name's Dr. Drwendydearborne. So let me just give you a little tad of background about me so you know who you're dealing with. I am a choice and laws of attraction expert. I also cook too, guys. So be sure to look out for food beyond its nutrition, which truly comes from the power of being able to choose for yourself what it is that you need and want to eat for self. Food is a powerful medium. Not only does it keep body and soul together, but it allows you to express yourself in ways that many people haven't thought of. Food has a spirituality to it, and that spirituality is, when you eat, that spirituality is consumed by you. But that is a whole nother show by itself. Food, it's an amazing thing. But that being said, I'm a choice and laws of attraction expert. I'm a coach, and this is what I actually support people in doing, is getting clarity around their choices, in understanding the power of their choices, in understanding many of the universal laws that are required for them to invoke so that they can have what it is that they say that they want. And again, this show is, if you will, it's going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge today to get us back on track, to get us back into the groove of where I come from, at any rate, in regard to you and the laws of attraction. So guys, once again, let's give yourself a round of applause. There you go, guys, and let's get to it. Let's start this process. Let's start building the life that we want to live. So there are a couple of things that I want to talk to you about today. And the first is the universal law of attraction. Well, if you actually go to the group, the laws of attraction in action on Facebook, you will be able to download this list of universal laws, so you can look over them, you can read them, you can and your choice. I love that. You see, this is what I love. Choice is all about what you choose to do. You can choose to agree with them, disagree with them. All of that's choice, right? All of that's choice. But there is a list there. The actual Laws of Attraction in Action website, that is being overhauled as we speak. Whole new thing coming, and that should be later on this year, sometime this year. A whole new thing coming with lessons and with tutorials and a lot of things that I have been working towards. The culmination has actually arrived. So I'll keep you posted on that. But anyway, you can go to the group, the Universal Laws of Attraction in Action on Facebook, and you'll actually be able to download this particular worksheet. And this worksheet is all about understanding the universal laws. And that's the Universal Laws of Attraction. So, the power of choice. Okay, guys, here we go. The power of choice. Alrighty. The universal law of choice and/or the universal law of free will is a binding, irrevocable contract. That means you can't cancel a contract. You sign it, it's yours. It becomes part of your physical and spiritual DNA. So this law, the universal law of choice, and it's also the law of free will, is a binding and irrevocable contract that you make with God, your chosen deity, the universal creator that initiates all that you, me, we do in life. The contract is simple. Whatever we do or don't do is a choice. If you got that, guys, whatever we do and or don't do is a choice. The contractual agreement says, and it states, we are, me, you, us, are bound. We are bound by ownership, responsibility, and accountability for all that we do, and conversely, all that we don't do. Whatever it is that we do, whether it's taking action or no action, whether it's speaking up and or not speaking up, whether it's thinking certain thoughts and or not, we own them. It's ownership. It's you. It is part of you and your DNA. It is part of you and your spiritual DNA. You cannot get away from choice. Now, if you do not choose for yourself, somebody will choose for you. And that somebody can be somebody up close and personal to you. That somebody can be somebody's where it rolls into the race mind. And what I mean by the race mind, the group mind, the mind of the whole, the conscious mind. And when I say the conscious mind, I'm talking about how people think. It could be the cultural norm or thought process. It could be how the world is thinking, or how the country is thinking, or how a group that you belong to is thinking. This will formulate your choice for you if you do not choose for yourself. And that's not to say that you disagree or agree with any of the above. You know, what your country's thinking, what your government's thinking, what your peers are thinking, what your family's thinking. You know, you will be carried along by this. And you'll be carried along in this way which you're just swept along, you know, like a leaf on you know, in a stream, or, you know, you have those white water rapids and you've got no control. You'll be carried along unless you choose otherwise.
BetMGM is pitching baseball fans a chance to swing for the fences. Register using code CHAMPION200 and win $200 in free bets when you place a $10 moneyline wager on any Major League Baseball game and either team hits a home run, regardless of your bet's outcome. Enjoy baseball like never before with BetMGM's daily promotions at your fingertips all season long. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code CHAMPION200 to win $200 when you bet $10 on an MLB game and either team hits a home run. Sign up today and find out why nothing beats a win at the King of Sportsbooks. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Virginia only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-532-3500.
Our emotions, and let me just say this, guys, as this is sort of like reacquainting ourselves with some of the content that I've put out before, but our emotions emote, which means to bring up and show. It comes up and out, emote. So our emotions literally are showing us something. But many of us actually make choices based on being shown this something. And I can hear people say, well, what's wrong? What's wrong with that, Dr. D? I mean, you know, Dr. Wens, T. Wentz, what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. Only your emotions are mercurial. They're subject to change. The thing that really ticked you off today will have you laughing so hard you nearly pee your pants tomorrow. The thing that made you so sad today will be your inspiration for tomorrow. So if you make a binding decision on an emotion that is running today, you have just changed the trajectory of your life. Emotions are showing you what you feel. And based on what you feel, you can then align that with your belief so that you can make a choice, that is in the best interest of self. Now, you can't control your emotions, and that's not what they're designed to have happen to them, to be controlled. You can't. Your emotions are something that are spontaneous, and that spontaneity is all about showing you your truth in how you feel in this moment. It doesn't mean that how you feel in this moment is something that's going to last forever. Because once again, it doesn't. You know, the thing that ticks you off today, as I said before, will have you laughing tomorrow. And the thing that you laughed about today will have you dejected and depressed tomorrow. Emotions show you, they're like flags, they're like symbols. But above all, they show you what you're feeling so you can align that feeling with something that you are wanting and or conversely not wanting. The universal law of attraction, and you've heard me say this countless times, and this is my mantra. The universal law of attraction has erroneously been clumped as the laws of attraction. The universal law of attraction is just one of the many laws. It's just one of the many laws that are made up by the universal laws of attraction. You know, the universal law of attraction is a binding magnetic force. And that's what that is. It's a binding magnetic force. Excuse me, guys. And the function of, and that ain't COVID, I just swallowed wrong. It's the binding magnetic force that binds you to all other laws. And it binds you to all other laws that creates an intentional stream of consciousness that draws to you that which you have chosen to experience in your life. Erroneously, we have been taught that it's the universal law of attraction. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you it's the universal laws, plural, S, plural, laws, plural. And this is where people have become stuck. This is where people have become stuck because they have just become stuck on the universal law. Well, no, it is a magnetic force, but there are so many other laws out there that need to be in play so that you can have what it is that you say that you want. Many people will say, all you need is love. I wish that was true. I wish that was true. Because the law of love, and yes, guys, everything that I'm speaking on today, there is a universal law. And what I mean by a law, the law is an energetic, it's an energetic frequency, if you will, that is set into motion. And once it's set into motion, guys, it has to go to where it needs to go, which is the point of creation, and then come back to you. This is why you can do something today based on your emotions and be okay with it tomorrow, and then wonder why 4 years down the road or 4 years later, your personal Armageddon has taken place. Well, that which you have put out has to return to you, and it does not return to you void. The universal law of love. They say love, and it is. Love is the law of transmutation. Love is the vibrationary or vibrational energy that changes all things. By simply seeing the divine in all situations, by simply seeing your chosen deity in all things. And I mean all things. Animal, vegetable, mineral, all things. It creates change. It's the law of transmutation, but it's not the only law. It's not the only law, guys. And this is where people come stuck. They think that the universal law of gratitude is all there is. No. If only. If only. If only that was it. If only it was just love. If only it was just gratitude. If only it was just faith. If only it was just belief. If only it was just the law, the universal law of truth, or the universal law of honesty. If only it was just discipline, or the law of manifestation, magnetism, forgiveness, divine flow. And I'm reading the list here. Consciousness, the law of return, the law of action, the law of command. If it was only that. If it was only one of these. But guys, it's all of these. The universal law of balance, and God knows, the universal law of imagination. And one of the things that I am promising to bring to you, because the imagination is huge. The imagination is huge. You may have heard me call it the theater of the mind. You may have heard me call it the screen of space. Your imagination can literally transform your life when you know how to use it. You have things like the universal law of acceptance. Guys, there is more than just the universal law of fill in the blank. That being said, all these universal laws come under the law of choice. And so it's so important that you realize this. Guys, in order for you to take control of your life, you have to make a choice. In order for you to take control of your life, okay, guys, you need to make a conscious choice about what it is that you want. Now, are there good choices? Are there bad choices? Well, that would all depend upon what happens when you make a choice. That would all depend on what happens when you make a choice. And when I say what happens, the response. As I said to you a little while ago, you cannot control the response to your choice. And, okay, choice is like action and reaction. You can take an action, but the reaction to that, you don't have any control over. You absolutely have no control over. And I'm going to phrase it this way. Many of us have had this experience, okay? Many of us, and I'm actually using a blanket statement here, okay? Many of us have had this experience. You do things, as you know, coming up as a child. So picture this, you know, you're a kid, and you did something one day, and whatever it was, you know, whatever, you left your plate on the table, you didn't put your toys away, you didn't answer respectfully enough, whatever it is, okay? You hit your little brother or sister, you know, whatever it is. You did this today, and mum just looked at you and didn't say anything, just shook her head and kept going. And so you did this the next day, and you got a beat down to rival all beat downs. Mum wasn't having it. You see, you couldn't predict mum's actual response to your action. But you see, based on what happened the day before, mum didn't come down on you like a ton of bricks, and you were like, okay, I got this. When in reality, you didn't. The only thing that you had was the choice that you made and having to suck up the consequence of that choice. To suck up the consequence of that choice. As I said a little while before, your emotions are something that many people allow to dictate and to drive their choices. Guys, you don't want that. You don't want that. How wonderful does it sound for you to say, I have free will over all things that I do. I have free will over whether or not the negative thought processes, the negative internal chatter, the negative self-talk, I have free will over whether I actually give it any play or I just move it out the way. I have a choice as to whether I feed it or I don't feed it. I get to choose that. The fact that it's come up, hey, it's come up. I get to choose whether I want to explore it to see if it has any value. Does it bring any value to my life? And value is something that you can use. Value in your life is something that is added unto you or for you so that you can live the life that you want to live. Guys, look, our life is about living the life that we want to live. And if you don't take control, conscious control of your free will, it will be taken from you. Somebody will use your free will so that they can create what it is that they want to create. And for those of you who listen to me, I know you may be rolling your eyes because I'm always saying this. Sometimes I feel like I'm just on this sort of like stuck in this groove, like the record scratch, like the record scratch, like the record scratch. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. But I feel this compulsion to do it. It's just, sometimes for me, it's just so overwhelming.
At JCPenney's Memorial Day sale, sizzling deals are on, with store-wide doorbusters all weekend. Or bring home savings up to 50% during our Memorial Day home sale. Save even more with your coupon. And for all former and active military personnel, enjoy an extra 10% off in-store. Just show a valid military or VA ID at checkout. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 5/30. Some exclusions apply. Doorbusters valid 5/26 through 5/30 and excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
You are your choices made manifest. If you are not driving at this moment in time, I'm going to say pause this podcast and go and look in a mirror. Look in a mirror. And or when you get to your destination or when you get a chance, look in a mirror. And what you see looking back at you is every choice that you have made in your life. Every choice that you have believed in your life. Every choice that you have been passionate about in your life is looking right back at you. And if you don't like what you see, make a different choice. You know, people will say, oh, Dr. Wendy, it's not as simple as that. Actually, yes, it is as simple as that. It truly is as simple as that. What I will add, the caveat that I will add here is there are other laws that you need to invoke to assist and support you in being able to see something different. To enable you to be something different. One of those laws is, actually, before I go there, let me say this, all right? In order to have something different, in order to be something different, in order to experience something different and or to manifest something different, and this is whether through prayer, this is whether through affirmations, this is whether you cast spells or whatever it is that you feel the need to do. You need to know without clarity what it is that you are wanting. So I'm going to switch gears here, guys. All right, let's just take a look at this for a minute. As a choice and laws of attraction expert and coach, what you are wanting and truly wanting is paramount. Having clarity around the thing that you want is paramount. The more clarity you have is the more crystal clear your wanting will be. It's not the more crystal clear your clarity will be. You see, your clarity will assist you in the thing that you say that you want. You want money. You want a relationship. You want a house. You want children. You want health. You want a career. You want to be happy. You want to be skinny. You want, and the list goes on. What do you want? You want harmony in your home. You want harmony in your country. You want your garden to grow. And speaking of which, you want your garden to grow? You need to make sure that your internal garden is growing. Because if your external garden isn't growing right, It's showing you something that's going on inside of you. So before I get too far off track, whatever is manifesting for you is showing you what you are wanting. I've said this a little while ago, but now I'm going to tie it into wanting. What is it that you want for you? I'm not talking about what you think you should do. I'm not talking about what you have been told to do. I'm not talking about culturally what is considered right for you. I'm not talking about religiously what you have been indoctrinated to do. I'm not talking about what you've been educated to do. I'm not talking about what your ethnicity has told you you must do. Your heritage, your traditions, your cultures, your era for that matter. I'm not talking about that. Is that a factor in your life? Most assuredly. Is it something that you can overcome or override? You bet your life you can. That's what choice, the universal law of choice, is all about. That is what your free will is all about. I'm talking about what are you wanting? What are you wanting? Okay? So I'm going to ask you that question. What are you wanting for you in this moment? I know that for many people who are experiencing their life as something traumatic, sometimes that question can be very difficult. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a moment. All right. So I'm going to ask you, what are you wanting for you in this moment? What are you wanting? You know, you can pause. The one thing about technology that I do love, you can pause this podcast and write it down. Write it down. Ask yourself, okay, what am I, me, Wendy? What am I? What are you? Just you, wanting for you. Not what you feel you need to do to make sure that your kids are all right, to make sure that if, you know, as mum, you're the main cog in the house for the most part. You know, making sure everybody's okay and doing it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what are you wanting for you? That is the beginning of you being able to manifest what it is that you want. So again, I'm going to tell you, pause this podcast. When you come back, I'll be right here asking another question. Okay. The second question is, what does it look like? What does it look like, this thing that you say that you want? And if you can't see it, what does it feel like? You need to step into it. What does it feel like? Write it down. What does it sound like? You know, you say you want a house. You want a new house. What does it sound like? When you walk in, what do you hear? Do you hear and hear me clearly, guys, when I say this, do you hear the silent hum? And I always call it the silent hum of the refrigerator. Do you hear your neighbors in the distance cutting their grass? From within your home, can you hear the laughter of children, or is that, or do you hear just silence? And what does that silence feel like to you? Is it peaceful? Is it disconcerting? What does that silence do for you? Does it allow you to exhale and relax? What does the thing that you want smell like? Oh, you say it doesn't have a smell. I beg to differ. Everything has an aroma. Fear has an aroma. Anger has an aroma. Love has an aroma. Joy has an aroma. Laughter. Everything has an aroma. Everything. So guys, put your senses to work. Your senses that usually are in alignment with experiences that you've already had, telling you what you already need, telling you what you must do. Now put those senses to work. Stretch them. Stretch them. Don't just use your senses for sensory experiences that you've had. Don't just use your 5 senses to make choices based on experiences that you had, which is what most of us do. We use I call it the LARS, our logical, analytical, and reasoning minds to make our decisions for us. And that's based on experiences that we've had already. So guys, getting back to what are you wanting? What are you wanting for you in this moment? I had said a little while ago that many people who are having and experiencing traumas in their life, and that trauma can be anything. It can be the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one. It can be as a result of being abused. It can be anything. The relationship didn't turn out right. I hate myself, I hate my face, whatever it is, whatever you are feeling that is causing you to say you don't know what you are wanting, then I'm going to say to you, get a pen and paper, and write down every single thing that comes to mind that you don't want in your life. Everything. Because knowing what you don't want can be and is oftentimes as powerful as knowing what you do want. So write it down. And I always say this for those of you who've listened, do not roll your eyes at me either. I don't want to be as broke as a joke. I don't want a broken down jalopy as a car. I don't want to live in what I consider to be substandard housing. I don't want to be in a relationship that's on again and off again and there's no real commitment and all the arguments and everything. I don't want that. I don't want to live in a beautiful home where there's no love. I don't want to live in a home where my husband beats my kids and I can't protect them. I don't want to live in a home that doesn't welcome me. I don't want to have a job where I feel unfulfilled. I don't want to have a job where, because I'm really good at what I do and I can multitask, they put everything on me. I don't want a job like that. I don't want a job where I'm not seen, nor am I appreciated through finances and or a verbal word. I'm not appreciated for all that I can do. I don't want a job that's going to hold me back. I don't want a job that's going to see me as a non-entity or nothing. I don't want to work where, in order for me to get ahead, I have to become part of the good old boys network. I don't want a job where my true innate skills are not used. That's not COVID, guys. That's me. I don't want that. So guys, you get the drift, okay? What you don't want is as powerful. Now you write that down and you flip that on its head. Flip it. Flip the script. It will tell you, I don't want to be broke as a joke. Well, what do you want? You want money? Yeah, I want money. I don't want the feeling of insecurity, of not having finances. I want to be financially comfortable. I want to live in a home that is worthy of me. I want a job that sees me for who I am. I want a relationship that is a partnership, where it's a give and take, and where my strength is shoring up whatever weakness he or she has, and his strength is shoring up whatever weakness I have. I want a home that's harmonious. I want a home that loves me and is loving when I walk into it. I want health. I want to feel vitalized and invigorated. I want to embrace the day like I'm the Energizer Bunny or whatever. You get my drift. So once you flip the script, guys, you can then start honing down. Okay, so you want financial security. What does that feel like to be secure? What do you think it will feel like to be secure? Paint me a picture. Yeah, I know, guys. For my clients, I know you all are like, oh, God, paint me a picture. You know, a lot of them head me off at the curve. They're like, yeah, I'm going to paint you a picture. I just need to get my brushes together and my paints. I'm getting it together, Wendy. You know, but paint me a picture. Better yet, paint yourself a picture. It's so vitally important that you know what you are wanting. You see, in order to consciously choose for yourself, you have to know with clarity what you want for yourself. Now, somebody asked me the other day, can what I'm wanting grow, or can I add to it? And the answer to that is always yes, it can grow. However, if you know what you want and you then add to it, what that tells me is, in its entirety, you are not or were not 100% clear on the thing that you said you were wanting. You weren't 100% clear, which still then leaves you open to the internal saboteur, the possibility that it won't manifest in the right way. You see, the universal laws are very, very specific. They are very, very, very specific and very precise. Very specific and very precise. Okay, guys? You cannot leave anything to chance. You know, you may have heard the phrase that the universe abhors a vacuum. Well, you see, the universal law of space means that something will go there to fill it. There can only be one thing in a space at any given time. That's like you sitting on the chair. There can only be one you sitting on the chair at a time. Yes, somebody can try and sit on it. Somebody can nab a small piece of it. They can sit on you, but that being said, only you can fill that space at this time. So when you are deciphering what it is that you are wanting, understand that that is a space that must be filled by the thing that you say that you want, and it must be clear. So in answer to the question, can you add to? To be honest with you, yes, you can add to it. But what that says, the implication is that you don't know fully what you want. Because when you know what you want, it can manifest and you can then grow from there. It's like putting down the foundation, the concrete foundation or whatever foundation it is that you're going to build the house on. It's like putting that down. Once that is in place, you can build. You're free to build. So hopefully that answered that question. You know, can you grow the thing that you say that you are wanting? Yes, but the implication is that you don't know what you want in its entirety. And what happens then is that leaves you susceptible to once again the internal chatter, to being governed by the race mind. And when I say the race mind, I'm talking about the collective consciousness of the world, the collective consciousness of the groups that you belong to, the collective consciousness of the hemisphere that you live in, whatever it is, you are then subject to that. And is there anything wrong with that? No, as long as you are consciously aware that's what's happening to you. There are so many people who, regarding last year, they've had questions, you know, they're like, I'm not kind of sure about this so much. But have gone along with the program because this is where the herd is going. Don't be part of the herd. Because when you're taken to the precipice, you'll be expected to jump off. And sometimes when you get to the precipice, unless you have a strong knowing of what you want, you're going to go over the edge. One of the things that I also want to say to you is the universal law of reversed effort. And this is one of the laws that I wrote about, I want to say maybe 3 days ago or something. I write a daily meme, and it was one of the daily memes. And the universal law of reversed effort. Now, most people apply effort, whether it's a lot of effort, a little effort, I would say no effort, but that's not true. Minimal effort, or, they're busting a sweat effort, that sort of thing. But the universal law of reversed effort, it is this, reversed being the key, states that you neutralize your affirmation and your prayers, your affirmations, you neutralize your affirmation and prayers by thoughts and beliefs which are negative and counterintuitive to what you are wanting. So what does that really mean, Wendy? What it means is you spend 15 minutes in the morning doing your meditation, prayer, visualization, affirmation work to make sure that you are financially secure always, and you feel secure. And you do this by your bank account always having, I don't know how many zeros you want. You fill that in. Whatever the number is in front and whatever zeros you want behind. And you do the work, and you're really doing the work. And then you see something, it'll flash up on the TV and you're like, oh my God, I can't even afford to buy that, even if I wanted it, which I really do. Or, oh God, am I ever going to be able to pay my rent and not feel like I'm being squeezed? Or, damn, the kids are always asking me for money and I wish I had it to give them and I just don't have it. I never have it. I hate this feeling. This is the universal law of reversed effort. Everything that you have done, you have just neutralized. Every word, every prayer, you've neutralized it. You've neutralized it. And as a result of that, your word goes out to the universal law of creation, and it comes back. And when it comes back, you may, here we go. You may get a check. You might get a check for, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 25,000, 16,000. You name it. You get this check and you're like, oh my God, look, yes, it worked. And that afternoon, the foundation of your home cracks. The foundation of your home cracks. And the amount that you need to repair it is the amount that you got. Now, you may say, oh my God, what a blessing. But you see, you wanted this money so that when your kids call you and they have a need, you can provide for them without, even though they're grown. The ass is grown. Everybody's working. But they still, they still call, right? And so that you can do that. Or so that you can go on holiday, so you can do all of that. But you see, now you're back to square one. And yes, the foundation is repaired and you feel secure, but it's back to square one. It's like, oh wow, I wanted to go to Maui, and wow. It would have been nice if if that money, oh wow, it would have been nice if that money wasn't actually used for, the foundation. Okay, all right, let's start again. That's the universal law of reversed effort. Because as I said to you guys, you put your word out there. You put your thought out there. You put the action out there. Whatever it is, it will not return to you void. It has to return to you in some shape or fashion. It has to return to you. One of the other things that I wanted to share with you, and hopefully, guys, that was something that was helpful to you. Okay, I'm looking this up, so bear with me. Okay, a word to the wise, and in closing, I'm gonna close with this. Okay, guys, a word to the wise. Stop hating on me because it is poisoning you. Stop hating on me because it is poisoning you. And so I'm going to expand on that a little bit. Stop hating on people, places, and things. Because while the energy in itself could be misconstrued as a negative energy, it actually is a negative energy. It's the negative energy on you. The poison darts that you throw out, to people, I said it a little while ago, has to come back to you. Now, other people may not pick up the dart, or they may. You have no control over what that looks like, or how that's going to happen, or what's going to happen. The only thing that you can control is what you do. So again, stop. We spend so much time doing this, guys. Stop hating on me because it is poisoning you. It's the only person that it can poison. What people don't understand is simply this. The things that you do that are wrong to other people, and knowingly do wrong to other people, they don't understand that if I stand still If I choose to stand still, the universal law of stillness and silence, and be silent. If I withhold condemnation and judgment and, the whole 9 yards, if I choose detached involvement in that situation will be turned into a footstool for me to rest my foot on. That situation will be turned into a stepping stone for me to step on. That situation will be turned into a rung of a ladder that I can climb upon, because I know what I want and I know where I am going. I know my wanting, and it's crystal clear. It's not a wanting that I'm building on. It's a wanting that I know. And when I know and I want it, it becomes the desire of my heart. When it becomes the desire of my heart, it becomes my belief. And when it becomes my belief, it is the universal creator's dictate that it will be given unto me. So guys, it's vitally important. It's vitally important to understand that you are the one who's making choices for your life. Whatever is going on in your life, whether it be immediately, whether it be within your group, whether it be within your church, whether it be within your spiritual group, whether it be within your family, whether it be within the area you live in, the state or the county or whatever it is, the parish, wherever it is that you live, whatever is going on, this is going on based upon choices that you have made. Now, am I saying it's right or wrong? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, through the power of understanding your choice, the power of knowing what you are wanting and then binding yourself to that through choice, the power of knowing these things can change your life. As they say, as it says in the Bible, in a twinkling of an eye, it can change for you. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. My name's Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and you have been listening to an episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. Guys, you can get me on drwendyd@gmail.com. You can also find me at Food Beyond Its Nutrition. I'm doing a lot of stuff with food and the power of choice. I don't even think people realize how deep that's going. Food and the power of choice. And guys, 2021 is here. Choose to make it your year. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Until next time.